Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, guys, and good morning to Mom Nadia. We are from Group 11. We will present about using games ELT for young learners. Our member, first me, Yanky Rimawan, and second Dila Rahmawati, third Kartika. Table of contents for using games ELT for young learners. The first, description and advantages. Second, some example of games. Third, conclusion. The first description, teaching ELT for young learners using games. The teaching of English in elementary school in English have developed very rapidly in the last few years. Many elementary schools in Indonesia start teaching English to their students even from the first grade. Some teachers have decided to use course books available in the bookstore or take some course books or even make their own materials. So, from the course materials, the teacher will plan some language activities to be applied in the classrooms. To get good result in the teaching English to young learners, the teacher must be creative. She should create many kinds of teaching media and technique, such as songs, stories, game, picture, and card. They are neat because young learners have their own characteristic, biological, cognitive, affective, personality, and social characteristic that differ from teaching high school students and adults. Games for young learners. Children love joining fun activities, as stated by Harmer. Children need to be involved in something activities. They will usually not sit and listen. Harmer, 1991. The teacher should be more imaginative and creative in creating a teaching method. Teachers can use the game that is provided. Any communicative activity in teaching English to the children. Elementary school teacher would teach young learners how to consider using games. The young learners can practice the skill in using English as means of communication, listening, reading, speaking, and writing. That is supported by mastering the language component, vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation. There are the tips of young learners. June 1994. The first, young children begin with simple things. The important part is giving the young learners a potential to acquire basic language activities. Second, older children no longer beginners, but post-beginners. They can manage to communicate in simple English in a variety of classroom situations and begin to use English to predict the future and to recount past happenings since they are mature. The material of games will be more advanced level.
So this is the next material is about advantage and will be presented by me, Dila Rahmawati. The advantage from using games for ELT young learners. The first, they add variety to the range of learning situations. They change the pace of a lesson and help to keep learners' motivation. And then the third, they increase learner-to-learner communication, which provides fluency, practice, and reaches the domination of the class by the teacher. The last is they can help to improve attention span, concentration, and memory. Learners are encouraged to participate as shy learners can be motivated to speak. The next is using games. For using games, there are several stages. The first, games have several functions. They are used to introduce new materials, repetition, and strengthening. And the second, games should be selected based on the age and ability of the students. The third, try to use target language in playing games. In this case, we use English as the target language. The fourth, not too long, 10 until 15 minutes, it's enough. The next is involve all the students. Make sure you make the students participate on the games. The next is the rules and instructions must be clear and followed by example. The next, games should train the function of the language and vocabulary that become the instructional goal. Games are to be found at the fluency accuracy spectrum. Games should be regarded as an integral part of the language syllabus, not as an amusing activity for Saturday afternoon or the end of the term. The last, games make use of a variety of techniques. A variety is important in language teaching, and succession of games based on the same principles through exciting and novel at first would soon pall. Okay, the next material will be presented by Kartika.
Memory games. Students are given pictures to look at for about a minute. Later, they are asked to tell what they remember without looking at the pictures. In the pictures, there are any activities. Next, passwords. The class is arranged in rows. The first person in each row is given a piece of chalk. The board is divided into sections no more than 6 teams. The teacher calls a letter and the students must write as many words as they can begin with that letter. In the allocated time, their teammates can call out hints, but he warned, "This is very nice." Next, the second member gets the chalk and goes to the board, and the teacher calls out a new letter. Next, word association. The teacher starts the game by saying a word such as hotel. For example, teacher hotel, student A bed, student B room, student C service, student D food, student E restaurant, student F Chinese. As you can see, any association is okay. If the students cannot answer in 5 seconds, he or she must stand up. The last student seat is the winner. If the association is not obvious, the student is asked to explain the association. Okay, last, conclusion. The use of games in teaching English was activities and interesting than if the teacher only gave the students theories. Using the games because it would be more acceptable to the students, easily remember than doing worksheets or listening to the theory. The students happy and they did not feel bored in the class and motivate the students to learn and spoken English freely. That's the presentation from our group. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dah.